Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your early April reading. Not sure if my camera is going to have an attitude attack or not. We'll see. All right. Welcome to all of the new Aquarians and welcome to the returning Aquarians. Full disclosure, my verbiage may be a little bit different from some of my other readings when I do this one because I too am an Aquarius. So this is my reading as well. Okay, where do we start? All right, let's start with the timing for this video. The timing for this reading is intended to be from April 1st to April 15th. Now, timing in psychic readings can sometimes be off, and people often ask, why? When you're dealing with a psychic or dealing with tarot cards or oracle cards, what you're actually tapping into, or the person doing the reading is tapping into, is the ethereal realm or a different plane of existence. And on different planes of existence, time moves at different rates than it does here on the earthly plane. And so what can happen is we can make a prediction for, let's say, April 15th, and then it doesn't come to pass on April 15th, and everyone's going crazy. Psychics are so unreliable. And then 4 or 5 days later, all of a sudden it pops up. Okay. That can happen. The second reason why sometimes psychic readings don't add up is this. You have free will. This is a general reading for all of the Aquarians, both Aquarians born under the sign of Aquarius, as well as anyone else out there who has a significant amount of Aquarius in their chart. You have free will. You can make your own choices and decisions. And so what can happen is if I pull certain cards that predict that you're going to be in a certain place with certain energies influencing you, let's say come April 15th, and you go, oh, hell no. I am so not doing that. Nah, that does not align with me, my values, I'm out. And then you use your free will and you make changes to your life. What you are actually doing is changing the trajectory of your life and changing the outcome. The reading that I'm doing today is being done here at the end of March 2023 with the intention for the time period of April 1st to April 15th. Between April 1st and April 15th, a lot of you are going to make different choices and different decisions than the choices and decisions that you would make while you're sitting here watching this video. And that's why sometimes the outcome doesn't align with the reading, okay? General reading, as I've already mentioned, and therefore, if you have a really, really important decision to make, Aquarius, please tap into your own free will, tap into your heart center, and make your choices from this place. Please do not make decisions, especially big decisions, based solely upon what you hear in a psychic reading or a tarot reading, or solely what you hear from your mom, dad, teacher, professor, religious leader, whatever the case may be. What you can do is certainly take all of those pieces of advice, put them in a great big pot, give them a stir around, and then tap into your own intuition and make your own decisions, okay? All right. For those of you who are new here, I work with a number of different oracle card decks as well as tarot decks. And as I'm pulling the cards, I leave all of them face down rather than having them face up. I turn them over one by one. And the reason that I do this is it helps the intuition and the intuitive juices to flow in a more organic way than if a card is already turned over, and then I can start to make assumptions, which I don't want to do. I want the reading to be coming from intuition and from that ethereal realm that I just talked about. Okay, Aquarius, the first card that we're going to pull is where you are at now, here sitting at the end of March. What energies are influencing you? Okay, we've got cards just flying out left, right, and center. We've got more that are about to fall out. All right, we're going to be mixing up some other cards here. Okay. Did you see the cards didn't even want to go back together? All right, well, maybe we won't. How many cards did we end up with here? Quite a few. I guess we'll read them, Aquarius. All right, let's have a look at what you are focusing on, Aquarius. What are you focusing on for the first half of April? That card is on the floor. I'll pick it up in just a moment. Is there anything else that the Aquarians are focusing on? April 1st through April 15th, 2023. What is the focus for the Aquarians? Well, my next door neighbor has their car alarm going off. All right. Not sure whether the microphone picked that up or not. All right, Aquarius, let's pull cards and see what your difficult influences are. Difficult influences for the first half of April for Aquarius, please. Difficult influences. What is Aquarius struggling with? Oh, apparently you're not struggling with anything because nothing's coming out. Let's try this again. Difficult influences for Aquarius. Interesting. All right, we're going to try one more time, Aquarius. Let's try holding the deck a little bit differently and see if we get different results. Sometimes, yep, there we go. Difficult influences. Yeah, now we have a few cards. Okay. The next card that we're going to pull, Aquarius, is a card that I like to call This Makes Sense. And it's generally a card that starts to tie the rest of the reading in together and just makes sense. So what makes sense for Aquarius going into April 1st to the 15th? Let's try again. What makes sense for Aquarius? Oh, there we go. And we have another one on the floor. Let's see if I can find that one. Yeah. All right. Okay. The next card that I'm going to pull, Aquarius, is going to be Unexpected Influences and Insights. And I'm getting called back over here to the Osho Zen. Unexpected Influences and Insights for Aquarius. There's one. Is there any other unexpected insights and influences for the Aquarians? Yep. And another one on the floor. I really need to get a bigger desk. Okay. Okay. And the final cards that we're going to pull, Aquarius, are going to be cards that predict or project the outcome, where you are projected or predicted to be, and which energies are going to be influencing you come April 15th. So this is really going out about 15 to 17 days right now. Where are we going for general overall outcome? We're going back over to the fairies. As we begin, so shall we end. Okay, there's one. And some more. Hey, fairies. Anything else you want to tell Aquarius? Okay. We're getting a little crazy here. These fairies really, really like to talk. Okay. That one, and this was the way that they initially came in. Aquarius, let's have a look at where you are at now. Ooh, you have the Fool, and you also have the Tower. Interesting. Really, really interesting. You've got the Five of Pentacles coming out here, which is an indication that it's not a great time to be making choices about money. You've got the Prince of Pentacles coming out here, telling you to be cautious in actions that you're taking with regards to business and money. Prince of Wands coming out. You've got two princes coming out, both the Prince of Wands as well as the Prince of Pentacles coming out. Both of them can act immature at times. And yeah, so there's a little bit of that energy coming in. All right. And like I said, you've got a Tower coming in here. And you're ending off with the Queen of Summer, also known as the Queen of Cups here. So let's read these in order, Aquarius, as to where you're at here now at the end of March. You're with the Fool, also known as the Dreamer card. This is a card of embracing your true purpose. If you're not sure what your true purpose is, I'm going to lay money that some of these cards that are sitting on my desk face down are probably going to be guiding you to tapping into more of your intuition. Okay. The Fool is also about embracing new adventures. Okay. Not resting on your laurels. If something new comes into your life, it's about diving into that and walking the path less traveled, or driving on the road less traveled. However you want to say that quote or repeat that quote. This card is indicating, Aquarius, that you're in this stage of really trying to discover your place in the world again. Not surprising. Also, this card is the Zero card, which is the very, very first card in the tarot, which is a place of new beginnings, new energy coming in. Not surprising, Aquarius, that you got this card as the very first card of your reading, given that we have just moved fully and completely into the age of Aquarius. All right. The next card that you have in the order in which they came out was the Prince of Wands. This is a card of action. This is a card telling you that you need to take immediate action. Not surprising, because if you're in this place of being the dreamer and the fool, you're still in your head, in your mind, being the planner that you actually are. But this is telling you that there's a challenge on the horizon. I'll just show you the picture here. This card is telling you that there is a challenge on the horizon for you. And so you do need to start making plans. Given that that card is right next to the Prince of Autumn, also known as the Prince of Pentacles, this card refers to money, job, and career, which is telling me there's changes coming with regards to your money, job, or career, Aquarius. I do want to say it's probably with regards to money. As we shift into the age of Aquarius, there are huge changes coming on our financial front and how we deal with money. The next card next to the Prince of Autumn is the Five of Autumn, also known as the Five of Pentacles. Whenever fives come up in the tarot, it's an indication that we are at a crossroads where we are looking to the past, where we are looking to the beginning, and to the future. And we're going, okay, which path do I take? And Aquarius, this is coming up in the suit of Pentacles, which pertains to your money. So I do feel like where you're at right now, you're questioning, where do I put my money in a safe place? There are bank issues happening around the world, not just in the United States, but around the world. There's definitely some issues within the greater financial systems. And this Aquarius is saying, heads up. Reach out to others for assistance. The very next card is the Tower. This may indicate, Aquarius, that as you go through this first half of April, there may be a Tower moment. And because it has the Five of Pentacles right next to it, your Tower moment probably involves money. So, as I always like to say, forewarned is forearmed, which means that because you're getting the heads up, there's an opportunity here for you to be able to move and shift and perhaps let go of some of the old systems and really look at how you're managing your money before this tower moment comes up. Now, tower moments are uncomfortable. Can we overcome them? Absolutely. Do most of us overcome them? Absolutely. But tower moments happen because there's something that we are not paying attention to. What are we not paying attention to? Our money. Okay. The final card that you have where you're at now is the Queen of Summer, also known as the Queen of Cups. And guess what she's telling you to do? Tap into your heart and tap into your intuition. Let's have a look at what you are focusing on, Aquarius. You are focusing on the King of Pentacles. Look at that, Aquarius, another pentacle. So let me just go back. For those of you who are fairly new to tarot, each suit of the tarot, the major arcana, as well as the 4 suits of the tarot, move in a progression. So from 0 or ace through to the king. And the ace or the 0, and let me remind you that you did have the 0, are all about new beginnings and some immaturity that's out there for you. Okay. And as you progress, you will eventually come to something like a 5, where you look to the past and then you look forward and you make some decisions. And, once you get to a 16, you may experience what can be a tower moment if you're not properly adjusting to the changes that are coming based on starting at the 0. And eventually we move into the Queen and the King, where we come into our own power and knowledge of that suit and the lessons from that suit. Now, as I mentioned already, Pentacles, or the 5 and Prince of Autumn, which came up for you already, refers to money. And now in your focus, Aquarius, you have the King of Pentacles coming up, also known as the King of Rainbows in this particular deck. And what this is indicating that you are focusing on creating more abundance in your life, manifesting more abundance, which is beautiful. But the first cards that we pulled did indicate that there may be a few speed bumps in the road to actually achieving this abundance. The other thing that you're concentrating on right now is your creativity. Your creativity, not only in how you are going to earn more money and create this abundance in your life, but I do want to say creativity in a lot of areas of your life, including potentially what's coming up for me, Aquarius, is some potential travel, the possibility of travel coming up for you. But definitely some changes and shifts are coming up. And if it's not travel, perhaps a move from one location to another. And that may even involve moving because of a job or career change with all these pentacles coming up. But I'm definitely sensing this creativity is involved in organizing a new project. And that's not actually unsurprising given that you had the dreamer come up. Let's have a look at what came up for you in difficult influences. Grounding, mystic healer, watching the clouds, and uncovering the treasure. Okay, the grounding card about going deep and exploring your roots. Didn't we have a queen come up and tell us to tap into our intuition on a more deep level? We did, Aquarius. And the grounding card coming up in your difficult influences is actually indicating that from April 1st to the 15th, which is the time period or the time frame for this reading, you may have some difficulty grounding. You may be kind of out here in dreamer land. Okay, so This card is reminding you from the 1st to the 15th to really tap in and concentrate on grounding and keeping your ideas grounded in reality. The next card that you have is the Mystic Healer coming up in your difficult influences. And what this card is telling me, Aquarius, is that from the 1st to the 15th of April, it may be a good idea to pay attention to your health. This is not formal health advice. I am not a doctor, so obviously I'm not allowed to give you a diagnosis or formal health advice. But what I can say is, generally speaking, if the Mystic Healer comes up in the difficult influences, it's an indication that you really, really need to pay attention to your health for the next 15 or 20 days. Tap into the energy of and the reminder that we can heal ourselves. We don't need to look outside of ourselves. This is about healing energy flows through you, which is in your difficult influences, letting me know that perhaps you've forgotten the lesson. If you cut yourself, you bleed, but you also heal from that cut. And the rate at which you heal is based on your belief systems. So if you believe that you can channel healing energy through yourself, Aquarius, you can also heal yourself. So this is your gentle reminder of your amazing capacity to heal. Also coming up in your difficult influences, you have the Watching Clouds. Lie back, rest, and relax. This card goes hand in hand with the grounding card coming out in your difficult influences. These two cards are going together. Okay. You're experiencing or predicted to be experiencing a little bit of difficulty, relaxing and getting into this place where you're able to ground yourself from April 1st through the 15th. And the final card is Uncovering Treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. This card actually goes hand in hand with your Mystic Healer. Okay. This is another gentle reminder. You are stronger than you ever possibly could have imagined. Tap into those energies. And it may be a little bit more difficult as these are coming up in your difficult influences, Aquarius. It may be a little more difficult for you to tap into these energies from the 1st to the 15th, but that's not saying it's impossible. Let's have a look at what makes sense for you. You kidding me? Okay. What makes sense? Dandelion and healing. What did I say this card represented? It represented you needing to do some inner healing work, Aquarius, and you may struggle and bump up against that for the first half of April. And this makes sense card comes out and you've got the healing card. That is double confirmation that you need to really, really tap into your own inner healer from the 1st to the 15th of April. Okay. I do want to point out as well that the flower that is represented on the healing card is the dandelion. The dandelion has been known through history to be an amazing healer of the liver and gallbladder portions of our body, organs in our body, systems in our body, however you want to refer to the liver and the gallbladder. And so to me, Aquarius, this card is saying that in particular, as you are paying attention to your health from the 1st through the 15th of April and taking extra steps and extra measures, whatever that looks like. I am, like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give you specific health and healing advice. I'm going to give you general advice in the area of whatever health and healing and looking after your health looks like in your household. Pay special attention to that. If it means drinking certain teas, then do so. If it means taking certain herbal remedies, then do so. If it means drinking an extra glass of water every day in order to try and flush the system, whatever it looks like for you, Aquarius, Pay special attention going into the beginning of April. And in particular, because the dandelion is known to be a tonic for the liver and gallbladder, just, extra information for you. All right, you also have, in This Makes Sense, the honeybee, which represents community. This is telling me that life can be very sweet for you, Aquarius, but life is sweeter when we include community. For many Aquarians, as we've shifted from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, we have actually withdrawn ourselves from society in a big way. Many of us have become hermits and loners. This is a card inviting you, Aquarius, to reconnect with your community. I do want to point out that as you reconnect with your community, it will bring out more creativity as well as more abundance for you. And the other card that you have is the tobacco card. And the tobacco card represents reciprocity. This is really, really important, Aquarius. What does reciprocity mean? Well, in a lot of cases, this card is the card of karma from this particular deck. What you put out into the world comes back to you. If you are putting out a whole whack of negativity in the world, guess what? That's going to get reflected back to you. If you're putting out a whole bunch of positivity, that's going to get reflected back to you. The other thing that I want to point out with this card, Aquarius, and I think that this is a really important lesson for everyone, but in particular Aquarians, we don't like to see injustice in the world. And so sometimes we don't accept favors from others because we feel like in return, we have to do a favor back to a particular person. And that causes us to withdraw from our community. The bottom line is reciprocity is not always about doing the favor back to the person who has just done a favor for you. It's not about immediate gratification. We are so into immediate gratification with our modern life and our modern lifestyle that we believe that if somebody runs to the store and does us a favor to pick something up for us, that the very next day we need to run to the store for them. That's not how reciprocity works. Okay? If somebody does something nice for you, Aquarius, out of the pureness and goodness of their heart, always keep in mind reciprocity. But it doesn't always have to be paid back to that person. Certainly in the future, you may come across an opportunity to pay it back to that specific person that did something nice for you while you were, I don't know, under the weather, or while you were too busy to go pick up the kids because something came up at work and somebody else picked up your kids, whatever the case may be. Immediate gratification doesn't have to happen. It could be 6 months down the road before you're able to repay the favor. But ultimately, when somebody picks up the phone and says, hey, can you run to the store for me? Or, hey, are you going to the store? Can you pick something up? Okay. Reciprocity. Keep that in mind. Don't withdraw from your community. Unexpected insights. Unexpected. Okay. Remember what I said, Aquarius, that the very first card in the entire tarot deck is the 0. It's about new beginnings. It's about being a little bit immature and foolish. It's normally, this is called the Dreamer, but in a traditional deck, it's called the Fool. And this is about embracing your true purpose, but also, moving forward into something new. In your unexpected insights and influences, you have the very next card, the number 1 in the tarot. Okay, this card is represented by existence. Okay, this is the card where we really, really dig deep and figure out who we are on the inside and what our life purpose is. This is about dreaming about what our life purpose is. Perhaps there's a little bit of folly and silliness as we try and figure it out. This is a card about digging deeper and really, really figuring out what our existence means. Also in unexpected insights, you have the Knight of Swords. This is about being caught up in your mind. This actually makes sense because in your difficult influences, you had two cards indicating that you were having a little bit of trouble tapping in, grounding, tapping into your intuition, despite the Queen at the beginning telling you to tap into your intuition. You're having a little difficulty. So it's not unsurprising that you do have the Mind card coming up. This is just a card of kind of a heads up. Don't be caught up in your mind. This is about being in a place of intuitive insights, intuition. And the next card that you have is the Nine of Pentacles. We've seen a few pentacles coming up. This is a card of ripeness. This is an indication that at some point during the 1st through the 15th of April, the intended time period or time frame for this reading, that there is going to be something that's going to come up financially for you, Aquarius, that's going to be ripe for that picking. Something regarding money. There's going to be a chance or an opportunity come up for you. So watch for that. It may be a new job offer, or it may be $20 you find on the street when you're walking down the road. Okay. Either way, pay attention to something coming up, some opportunity that's kind of surprising. It's ripe for the picking, coming up for you as an unexpected thing. All right. Okay. So in your overall outcome, you have the Hanged Man, which is also the Awakening card. This is a card of being able to see things from a new perspective. If you're doing all of this other work, where you're starting off end of March in this place of really trying to figure out what your life purpose is now that we've shifted into the age of Aquarius, you've done a few silly things and so on. If you're in that place and you actually experience a little bit of a tower moment, it is going to put you in that place of being able to see things from a new perspective. Some people, when they see the Hanged Man in the tarot, they don't like it. I personally love it when the Hanged Man comes up, because it means when we can see things from a different perspective, we can open doors that were previously closed to us, Aquarius. Okay. What's coming up for me intuitively is to share this with you. You know, when you watch a murder mystery, for example, or even, I don't know, watch Scooby-Doo, it doesn't matter, any of those types of things. The Angela Lansbury series from the 80s and 90s comes to mind, where they know that there's a secret way out of an office in the house in an old castle or something. Okay. And one of the characters will be looking at a wall and going, no, there's got to be another way. There's got to be a way that we can get out. There's got to be a trap door. And all of a sudden they go like this and they go, oh, there it is. And they punch the button and all of a sudden a secret door opens. Okay. That's what this card is all about for you, Aquarius. It's about tipping your head and going, oh, now I get it. See things from a different perspective. Don't see things from the perspective of the old way of doing things from the age of Pisces. Begin to see things a new way. You have the Nine of Summer, also known as the Nine of Cups. Interesting. You also had the Nine of Pentacles, and now you have the Nine coming up. Did you have any other? No, that was the Prince. You've got two princes there. I thought there was another 9 that had come up for you. I must be wrong. Okay, so you do have the 9 of Cups coming up here. This is a card of wishes do come true. You have the 6 of Summer, 6 of Cups. This card indicates that there is something coming up or bubbling up from your past. It may be a childhood friend that gives you a call over the next couple of weeks. It may be an ex that comes back into your life, but in a positive way. This is not in a negative way. When the Six of Summer or Six of Cups comes up, it is about the past coming back around, but it's coming back around in order to remind us of something very positive, and perhaps remind us how to see things from a different perspective. Okay, you have the two wands to round out the end of your reading here, Aquarius. You have the Seven of Wands, also known as the Seven of Spring from this deck, and the Four of Spring. The Seven of Spring is the card of assertiveness. Okay, the Spring or Wands represents fire. When fire comes into your life, it means take action. Okay. Seven of Spring is telling you that as you travel and walk on this new path, as you discover your life's purpose, as you move into this existence because you recognize what your purpose is, as you have this awakening and you're able to see things from a different perspective, you are being called upon by the last two cards to take action at what's coming your way. Similarly, with this ripeness card, it's really positive that you've got a couple of wands to round out this Nine of Pentacles, because you want to take action when the fruit is ripe for the picking. So be assertive. And the final card that you have is the card of gratitude. Be grateful for all that you have in your life, but in particular, and I'm going to go back to this card, be grateful for the people in the community that you have surrounding you, Aquarius. Beautiful, beautiful reading. A little bit of a bumpy road with that tower coming up at your initial reading, but overall, really positive outcome, really beautiful. You do have a few things that you need to work on, but yeah, overall things are turning around for you, Aquarius. So congratulations, and really dig deep, find out what that life purpose is. Okay, we will see you coming up at the middle of April. Thank you again for joining me.